Where we stopped last? Do you remember? Say fast. Where was it we stopped last? Then I can continue. Forgot? Yes or no? Did you forgot? Say yes. If you have forgotten, I don't mind doing the entire revision of the second chapter. But you should be confident. The class is for you all, not for me. So if you say that, ma'am, please do the revision, we will do the revision. No problem. Mute, unmute your this thing. Put on your videos. Let me see you. Umesh, Mehal, Vishwajit, please. Switch on your videos or switch on your mics. So at least I can hear you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Who is this? Introduce yourself. Is that?
My name is Mehal, ma'am.
Huh?
Mehal.
Mehal, Umesh Mashalkar. उमेश गायबच झाला लगेच. Vishwajit.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, do you want me to do the quick revision?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? You don't even remember what we did last time. Do you remember what we did last time? What we did last time? Quick revision about brand positioning, consistency in brand characters. Should I repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
First, we will see the difference between what is a brand statement versus what is a brand mission. Okay, a position statement is something, you know, mistaken for mission statements. A position statement is sometimes confused with mission statements and value propositions, but there are very few key differences which we learned. What is positioning statement in this? Positioning statement is used to align messages on internal teams. Though a good positioning statement is often versatile enough to use externally too. So that describes a product and its target consumer and explains how it fills a need in different ways than its competitors is into a positioning statement. What is value proposition? Value proposition explains what benefits your product provides to your customers. Value added. Okay, so the value proposition is often used as part of the positioning statement. And what is a mission statement? Public facing tagline. Mission statement is public facing tagline or statement identifying your brand strategy. Followed? That is what it is. Now the concept is closely linked with your brand positioning. What I said last time? The brand positioning, why is it necessary? It is necessary to establish strong equity. The brand which you are exposing in the market should have a clear and a consistent positioning, as well as authentic set of differentiation to support the positioning. Right? The brand positioning is essentially a compelling promise that marketers convey to win the customers' minds and hearts. See, marketers' moral responsibility. What is marketers' moral responsibility? Is the marketer's moral responsibility is to fulfill the promise with a solid and concrete differentiation through its marketing mix. You should have strong marketing mix. D, due to the rise in the social media brands, your brands can be challenged. Due to the rise in the social media, your brands can be challenge. So companies have to have a very good positioning done. Okay, I have given you the example of Apple. If it is Apple, Apple stands for exclusivity. Apple stands for luxury and elegance, right? And then this is Apple for you. The brand is Apple for you. The brand dominates the technology front, and in fact, other product positioning in market campaigns using this positioning as a basis for their product. So their services, products, and website depict their strong brand positioning. You remember this example of Apple? I've given you, yes or no? Mic's on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next was Amazon. The leading e-commerce store is now nowhere left behind when it comes to brand positioning. The relationship that the brand has with its customers to take shopping to altogether new level is what drives its brand positioning. Is Amazon, right? It takes the relationship with the customers on altogether new level. Agility in delivery, low prices, and freedom to like or dislike the products gives the brand a big thumbs up. Is into that. So brand character, then we studied about the brand character, right? Your brand character is like the personality. Your brand character is like the personality of your brand. People purchase things from brands they like and relate to its, and that is very simple. If people don't have a clear sense of you, they are just gonna keep on scrolling for the new products. So some brands are serious or even somber. Some brands are serious or even somber, and some are whimsical, fun, or playful. So some brands are youthful and some are like oldies. So when the core of the brand remains true to its roots, the outer imaginary can be flexible, right? The outer imaginary can be flexible with disruptive technologies, shorter productive life cycles, and rapidly changing trends. A brand must be dynamic enough to behave in certain ways in certain situations. Follow? Because there are a lot many new technologies coming. A lot of dynamism happening in the technology. The trends are changing very fast. So the brand, how it will save itself, how it will attract the customer. So they have to think of innovative ways. They have to find new branding strategies, positioning strategies in the market. So what should remain consistent in all this? The brand characters and brand codes. Now, if I give you the example of Nike brand, it has an active lifestyle. If somebody wears Nike brand, you know, it shows that this person has an active lifestyle, inspirational, exciting, cool personality. So Nike as a person would be exciting. Nike as a person must be proactive. Nike as a person must be spirited, cool, innovative, aggressive, and into health and fitness. That's what you imagine, right? So Nike has created that impression on our minds. So since the 1980s, Nike has been endorsing the very best athletes across a wide variety of sports. So what the brand shows? Brand shows competence. The brand has accomplished an influential character for itself and has highlighted its core by leadership. Are you getting? So this is an example of Nike. So now, what are the important characteristics? First is loyalty. Loyalty is very important in brand characteristics. The unique and exclusive characteristics of the brand creates a connection. And which connection it creates? It creates an emotional connection with the target audience that makes them indulge in the repeat purchases, resulting in the loyalty towards the brand and its offering of products and services. Followed? So loyalty is very, very important. What is important next? Awareness. You have to be aware of the brand, marketing customers, making customers aware of their brands through promotions like print advertising, televisions, commercials, and the use of the digital media, social media. So thereby, the awareness needs to be increased. Third is, what is the third one? Higher sales and profits. Higher sales and profits with the increasing level of brand awareness, showcasing its unique characteristics in the target market that results in the top of the mind recall factor about the brand and its offering in the minds of the consumers, making them indulge in the repeated purchase. What I want to go, if I want to do shopping, I will go and buy Nike. Or if I want to have a drink, I will go and buy Coca-Cola. Or I will go and buy Coke. Or I will go and buy Fanta. So these are the things which are hammered in your mind by these brands. Repetitive advertisements. Okay. So, and that helps us to do repeat purchases because you are brand loyal. So brand characteristics is loyalty, awareness, and higher sales and profits. The company attains its objective of higher sales and profits through this. Followed, everybody? That's what we did till last time. Agreed? Agreed? Yes, followed? Participants? Hello, everybody. Karan, did you follow? Vishwajit, Mehal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, should I go for the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
So then soon we will finish the second chapter. Okay. You please respond to me when I ask you the questions. Immediately unmute and speak. So I will get to know whether I should proceed further or should I stop and do the revision again. Okay. So the next one, what we are doing is from 4 P's to 4 C's. I want to switch it. From selling of 4 P's to 4 C's, right? The 4 P's which are these, which you all know, product, price, place, promotion, right? So guys, do you know the difference between services marketing and product marketing? Hello all.
No, ma'am.
Huh? What? Said no? You are in 4th semester ना? बघू चेहरे बघू मला पटापट लवकर घाबरले मी. कुठे सगळे? Switch on your please guys. कुठे गेले हे सगळं? What happened? Stop. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
सर्व्हिसेस मार्केटिंग आणि प्रोडक्ट मार्केटिंगचा डिफरन्स माहिती आहे का?
No, ma'am.
खरं सांगा. हॅलो. Look here everybody, switch on your videos fast. आता फटका मिळणार आहे सगळ्यांना. Switch on your videos fast, everybody. Mehal, do you know?
No, ma'am. Actually, I forgot.
सर्व्हिसेस मार्केटिंग आणि प्रोडक्ट मार्केटिंगच्या डिफरन्सेसची आज मी मोहितला सांगते क्लिप द्यायला तुम्हाला. ओके, मी रेकॉर्ड केलेली क्लिप आहे. सर्व्हिसेस मार्केटिंग मध्ये 7 P's असतात माहितीये?
Yes, ma'am.
कुठले 7 P's आहेत?
Product, place.
प्रोडक्ट, प्लेस, प्राइस, प्रमोशन 4 P's झाले आपले.
Yes.
फिजिकल एव्हिडन्स,
Physical evidence.
प्रोसेस आणि पीपल. ओके, ह्याच्या तुम्हाला केस स्टडीज मी एक्सप्लेन केलेल्या आहेत. Services marketing, why it is different and why 3Ps more are added. त्याच्यात तुम्हाला वर्ल्ड डिझनेचं एक्झाम्पल दिलंय, हॉटेल ताजमहालचं एक्झाम्पल दिलंय आणि 4P हे सर्व्हिसेस मार्केटिंग मध्ये आय हॅव रेकॉर्डेड. ओके, and I have
Right.
given you a fantastic difference. What is 4Ps and what is 7Ps with case studies. Okay, 4Ps I have given a case study of Tata Nano. What was the failure of Tata Nano? And Honda Activa. What is the success behind Honda Activa and how these 4Ps have played a very important role. Okay, and if your branding and if your something goes wrong, if positioning goes wrong, product fails. Are you getting my point?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
how the difference, what is the difference exactly into that is given into 4Ps and services marketing, 7Ps. Why these extra 3Ps are important? What has given leverage to those companies that these 3Ps have been added and the company's sale has zoomed? Why people still prefer going to Taj? It's a very expensive hotel, right? But when it comes to status symbol, and if I have money, I would prefer going to Taj. Why? Because of his excellent service,
Perfect.
because of his
Correct.
excellent physical evidence, right? Are you getting? So I will tell Mohit sir today to give you a recorded clip. You listen to that and see how you can relate with this. Your examiners will be very pleased when you write all these things. You know that you know something extra about it. Karan, are you there? Karan, are you there? Utha, Vishwajit, Abhay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here only.
So you know what is 7Ps and 4Ps?
Just now I heard, ma'am. Actually, I having ideas about that, but not in deeply, ma'am.
My students, yeah, my product in the market I'm exposing like this. Sorry, I feel sorry for myself. Sorry, let's do it today itself, or maximum by tomorrow. You will get the difference between 4Ps and with 7Ps. Okay, all these 3Ps. What is the important with a case study? Agreed? So you will have a perfect differentiation. Kai Baba, what is the difference? This is very necessary and you can relate here. Correct? So, fine. Don't worry. I will give you today itself. So now, coming from 4Ps to 4Cs, the 4Ps which refers product, price, place, promotion have remained relevant even as the market industry itself has evolved. So they have remained constant. The 7Ps of marketing were established by Bernard H. Booms, B-O-O-M-S, Booms, and Mary J. Bittner. So these two researchers recognize that 4Ps ignored customer service. 4Ps ignored customer service, which they considered to be essential part, essential aspect of marketing strategy. So the bonus Ps that were added were, which were they? People, process, and physical evidence. I will send you my recorded clip of with case studies and you will get to know exactly 4Ps and 7Ps importance in that. But you have to go through it. I will ask you next in my next session, have you gone through it or no? I know you all are burdened with n number of lectures and n number of things, but we have to go. You are managers, you are the entrepreneurs, and you have to increase your speed of grasping. Agreed, all of you? So now this brings us to the final strategy. The 4 C's of marketing, which are created by Robert Lauterburn in 1990. Each of these 4 elements are an adaptation to their related P. Which are these related P's? Consumer wants and needs. This element is similar to the product, right? Consumer wants and needs. Second is cost, which is related with the price. Convenience, place, and communication, promotion. Very easy. That's how he has related it. Now let's first understand the difference between a want and a need. Can you tell me what is a want and what is a need? Anybody? What is a want and what is a need? Now, this is a very, very basic question I'm asking you. What is a want and what is a need, guys? Difference between a want and a need. If you
Ma'am,
know that,
want,
then we can proceed further.
Ma'am,
You know
want
that?
is the luxury items and need is the basic elements of life.
Yes. Yes, like food, shelter, right? Basic needs. The difference between a want and a need is something ought to be necessity or essential items required for life. Example includes food, water, shelter. These are the needs. A want is something unnecessary but desired, or items which increase the quality of living. Okay. Examples include maybe I want to buy a smart car stereo for myself, in my car, or I want to buy a luxury watch, or I want to buy a designer clothes. Is it a need or is it a want? It's a want.
Ma'am, it's a
not-
want, it's a desire.
Yes, agreed. Okay. So first is basically you should understand the difference. So the biggest difference here in the that the scientist Lothar-Born believed that extensive consumer research needs to be done to understand if there is a need or demand for this new product or no. Screen sharing paused. Why it got paused? This. Sorry. Huh? So the biggest difference here is the what you can say that the scientists believe that extensive consumer research needs to be done to understand if there is a need or demand for this new product. If there is, then how will the product or service be best served? So the want and the needs of the customer should drive the creation of a new product or service. Follow? Now we will see here how product becomes customer solution. How product becomes customer solution. Nowadays, with instant access of information, business should invest in thorough market research. So when planning your products, you have to determine how you can provide solutions to your customers' problem areas. If there are inquiries about the product, you should be able to resolve it. So this way, you are not only marketing your product, but you are also giving solutions to their needs. Okay. So that is product and customer needs and values, consumer value. Second is cost price. Okay. So Lothar-Born believed the word cost should replace price. That's what he believed. So according to him, cost is not just the price of the product. Remember here, cost is not just the price of the product, but it also includes opportunity cost, the loss of potential gain from an alternative, or even the customer's time spent to obtain the item. So he insisted that the amount isn't the only cost a consumer worries about when making a purchase. The consumer only doesn't worry about the cost of the product. If the customer is traveling to a shop, so much time he is investing, so much money he is investing on the petrol, on the parking fees, right? So everything is included in the cost in this. You followed, everybody? So he felt that cost is not only the price of the product, but also the other factors are included in this. Next, we come to convenience, which is place. Place has been replaced by convenience. The effort a customer should make to purchase a wanted or a needed product should be availed to him at multiple points. That's what he feels. It should not be somewhere, I have to drive down long and then I have to get my products. It's not like this. So marketers should do good visual promotions for customers' convenience. You have to ask whether do you have an online store, do you have a home delivery, what is additional cost of delivery, is the shop near, so no hassles are there for car parking. So all these questions which needs to be answered in order to offer your customer the good customer experience is all required. Remember here, Remember here that the user journey and user experience are more important. User experience and user journey are very important than ever. So make sure that your path to purchase is as easy and simple as possible. So that comes to convenience, which is related with place. Agreed? Followed? Now we will go to the last one, which is communication. In Lothar Bond's opinion, promotion is manipulative, while communication is cooperative. See the difference. Lothar Bond believes that promotion is very manipulative. I give this, I offer this also with you. Whereas communication is cooperative, both ways, mutual. So an honest bylaw between the brand and consumer was thought to be the best as opposed to traditional marketing strategies, which highlight a product's best qualities that can be sometimes deceiving. So this communication promotes constructive feedback. This communication promotes questions, answers, and users generated reviews. So modern marketing has become a two-way conversation between the brands and their stakeholders now. You all agree, right? So you need to start listening to the customers. You need to know what are they saying about you on your social websites, what help or information they require. How can you work with them towards a mutually beneficial solution? See here, you have to understand here that consumers' decisions are based on engagement with brands. Consumer decisions are based with engagements with your brand and with their own communities. I will refer, if the product is good, I will refer it to others. So the community has to be strong enough. So be creative, engage your customers, interact with them, and that's how you can gain trust and loyalty towards your brand. Thereby what? Thereby adding value to both yourself as well as to your brand and to the customers. I mean to say the company and the customers, both parties, it's beneficial. So make sure you consistently listen to your audience. How we listen to you all students know? Do we listen? It's both ways, right? You and college together. It's not only one-sided, students, and we are not listening to you. It's both ways, right? So the audience is also important, and adjust your message accordingly. That's very, very necessary in communication. Agreed? Followed? This is how we are ending here. Did you get my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Should we end now here, this chapter, and we'll proceed to the next one? What likely questions? If there is a MCQs will be provided to you, but if the big question comes, you should be able to know all these things we did, right? I hope all these things are clear with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's it. All the points are clear with you from the third chapter. All these points are clear with you. Anything which you feel that you are not clear, we can repeat. Or should I move to the third chapter now? Last chapter. Tell me, all of you. झोप आली आहे का?
No, ma'am.
सकाळपासून कितवं लेक्चर आहे माझं?
Ma'am, first lecture of marketing.
This is which lecture? You might have attended other lectures also, na?
Today we had finance lecture in the
Arey
morning.
वाह. Understanding everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. But how is it going? Entire chapters and everything? College is helping you?
Ma'am, I'm from marketing, ma'am.
Huh?
I'm from marketing background, ma'am.
Yeah, so college is helping you with lectures and everything, na?
Yes, ma'am.
You are comfortable, right?
Yes, ma'am.
On a comfort zone, right? Because in July, maybe 15th or July, your exams might start. So that's why I feel like, you should do a good revision. Now let's go to the next chapter. Should we proceed with the next chapter? Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. Next chapter is about marketing productivity matrix. Now, last time we studied about PAR and BAR. In this chapter, we are going to study about PAR and BAR in detail. What is the full form of PAR? What is the full form of PAR? Mr. What is this happening? I should ask your marketing faculty. Who teaches you marketing? Ajyotikar madam, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? PAR is what? Purchase action ratio. And BAR is
Yes.
what? Brand advocacy ratio.
Sure.
Right? Purchase action ratio, PAR. BAR,
Brand action ratio.
no. Brand advocacy ratio.
Advocacy.
Advocacy means you are promoting that brand. Okay? Me brand to purchase kela. I like that brand. I got a Sony television TV and I'm promoting that brand afterwards. Okay. So brand advocacy ratio. I'm getting loyal to that brand. Okay. So if I want to buy any system again, I will go for a Sony. Okay. So purchase and advocate. Agreed? So we are going to study today about introduction to the PAR and BAR. We are going to study today decomposing PAR and BAR. We will be studying on how to drive up the productivity. Then industry best practices and archetypes. Then 4 industry archetypes, which are the 4 major industry archetypes. And we will be studying the marketing best practices. Very easy. You will enjoy this chapter. Okay, so let me proceed to the next slide, which is about introduction of PAR and BAR. Introduction of PAR and BAR. Now, PAR, as I told you, is purchase action ratio, which directly translates to sales, right? सेल्स होतो ना डायरेक्ट मी परचेस केल्यावर काय झालं कंपनीचा सेल झाला व्हॉट हॅपन्ड सेल हॅज हॅपन्ड and brand advocacy ratio translates to sales growth. Why sales growth? Because I'm advocating that brand to others, so others are also buying that brand. Because of what happens? Because of that the growth of the sales happens, right? So brand advocacy ratio. You understand this major difference? Agreed? Very simple. Agreed? So PAR measures what? PAR measures how well companies convert brand awareness into brand purchases, and BAR measures, brand advocacy ratio measures, how well companies convert brand mindfulness into brand advocacy. Example is what? Example I will give you. Now here understand this with an example. You followed what is PAR and BAR, everyone? Say yes or no. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
अरे मेहलच बोलतोय बाकीचे कुठे बोलतायत
Ma'am, only I am
others?
there.
Huh?
Only I am there in the lecture.
Rest else have left.
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, I have no clue, ma'am.
काय आहे सगळे जण विसरताय सगळे ओके महेल आर यू इंटरेस्टेड देन वी कॅन गो अहेड
Yes, ma'am. I don't mind.
ओके सो पार आणि बार मध्ये काय होतं फॉर पर्टिक्युलर ब्रँड एक्स इफ द नंबर ऑफ द कस्टमर्स हु गोज फ्रॉम 4 स्टेजेस आहेत ना अवेअर ऍक्ट आणि ह्याच्या तुम्हाला माहिती आहे ना अवेअर अपील आस्क ऍक्ट आणि ऍडव्होकेट वी हॅव सीन दोज 5 वेज राईट
Yes, ma'am.
aware, appeal, ask, act, and advocate. So from a if I take a population of 100 people in the market brand, say X is, and it is that X brand is spontaneously recalled by 90 people. If I take a survey of 100 people, if I ask, do you remember this X brand? Out of that, out of 190 people spontaneously says, yes, I remember. Out of 90, only 18 people end up buying the brand. How many people end up buying the brand? Only 18 people end up buying the brand, and only 9 people recommend the brand. म्हणजे advocate the brand. You followed? How many people advocate? Only 9. So therefore, the par for brand X is par purchase action ratio किती आहे? 100 लोकांच्या पैकी किती लोकांनी सांगितलं मी end up buying? Only 18, right? So 18 upon 90 because only 90 recalled the brand, right? Or 0.2, and the bar is 9 upon 90.
90.
Why 9? Because 9 people recommended that brand out of 90, right? Or 0.1. So on the surface, even if the brand X looks very beautiful, very promising, since it has good brand awareness of 0.9, but in fact it performs rather poorly. It fails to convert high level of brand awareness into sales. You followed? So par and bar allows marketers to measure the the throughput of their spending, particularly while generating brand awareness. What is the throughput? What is it while spending? So that generally creates the brand awareness. Followed? Followed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now we will study about, and this is the what you can say,
Ratio.
this is the formula. Purchase action ratio, act upon total market divided by aware upon total market, which is consumer brand, which is the buying position upon the total market. Total market आपण किती घेतलेलं? 90 घेतलेलं की नाही? बरोबर ना? आणि कस्टमर ब्रँडिंग तिथे बाय किती केलं होतं कस्टमर्सनी मगाशच्या स्लाइड मध्ये?
9.
हा, whatever. बाय किती केलं होतं? फक्त 9 लोकांनी केलेलं.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So that is equal to market share. So aware upon total, आणि awareness किती आहे? Awareness 90 लोकांना होता 100 पैकी, बरोबर? Customer awareness of brand upon total market share, which is brand awareness. This is the formula for purchase action ratio. Followed? I have given you here also, this also, I will give you the slides. So purchase action ratio measures show how good companies convert people who are aware of them into purchase action. And brand advocacy ratio converts them into loyal customers. Agreed? So purchase action ratio is equal to purchase action upon spontaneous awareness. And brand advocacy ratio is what? Spontaneous advocacy upon spontaneous awareness. Are you getting my point? So calculated, these two are calculated as the number or percentage of people in the market who spontaneously recalled your brand when asked about a particular category. Okay. Rolex watches, wow, super luxurious brand. It starts, the minimum watch starts with 5 lakhs and above. Louis Vuitton example सांगितलं, purse, the minimum purse range starts with 1.5 to 2 lakhs. So that is what the advocacy. If I like that purse, if I want to buy it, I have to have that much money. I should be loyal with that brand. I should be getting that good service, good experience. Then I will say it or say it to others. Now we will come to decomposing par and bar, which is very necessary. बाकीची मुलं हे अत्यंत महत्त्वाचा चॅप्टर आहे आणि सोडून का जात आहेत? Have they joined back?
No, ma'am.
Forget you. I will be giving them notes. Maybe they are having some other sessions. Anyway, low conversion rate, decomposing par and bar. Now understand this current, this Mehal very clearly. Understand it. Determine profitability of a company. The return on equity may be considered metric to summarize profitability as measured by net profit margin, or as measured by asset use efficiency, as measure of asset turnover, and financial leverage is the third one, as measured by equity multiplier. Agreed? Return on investment. So now here, the goal is to have higher return on equity, which means high profitability, maximized assets, and high financial leverage. Followed? Now, with par, market share, PAR means with purchase action ratio market share, which is always 0.5% of brand awareness. And this is a determination on how marketers should be careful in spending. Now here we will see why there is low conversion rate and what does it mean by that. Considering all 4 A's. Considering all A's. Aware to appeal, 5 A's. Aware to appeal, appeal to ask to act, and ask to advocate. Right? Act to advocate पाहिजे इथे. Last ला act to advocate पाहिजे, I will change it. Okay? So, aware to appeal means what? Poor customer attraction. PAR is calculated by dividing, which I told you just now, right? So, poor customer attraction and low brand positioning due to the poor market implementation. Attraction level is close to 1 when it comes to aware to appeal. When it comes to aware to appeal. So here you have to be very careful when it comes to all these things. Appeal to ask. Customers are not compelled to ask the questions. Brand message is sometimes very unclear. I'm not interested in that brand message. So it's very unclear. It's not very catchy. There are too many questions. So curiosity level is not even closer to 1 when it comes to appeal to ask. Then ask to act, low commitment level. People hardly talk about the brand. They are not ready to purchase it. That comes to ask to act. And when it comes to act to advocate or ask to advocate, low affinity, service is disappointing, not worth sharing the experience, it comes that. So purchase action ratio is calculated by dividing market share, which I told you. Purchase action ratio is calculated by dividing the market share by brand awareness. Accordingly, marketers may roughly access the potential market share, potential market stake increases of their brands. And if they increase the awareness of those brands, it will be helpful. And with BAR, the goal is to, what happens with the BAR? The BAR, the goal is to go with all 5 A's. BAR ला काय करायचं? All 5 A's ला जायचं आपण. Appeal, ask, act, advocate. Yes.
Appeal.
Huh?
Where? Yes, ma'am. All the 5 A's.
Yeah, you should not drop a single way A's when it comes to advocacy. Huh? All 5 A's are essential when it comes to BAR.
PAR.
Okay, because bottleneck reduces productivity of the entire customer path, and so we have to determine the touch points that need improvements, and we have to alter those bottlenecks by improving PAR and BAR. Now here we will see appeal awareness. What happens here? Marketers should also quantify every conversion rate from awareness to advocacy. A low conversion rate from aware to appeal for a brand reflects a low customer attraction. Low customer attraction. It indicates that customers who are made aware of the brand do not find it appealing. A small conversion rate from appeal to ask for a brand is a sign of low customer curiosity. Now, to this entire exercise is to progress marketing productivity and avoid unnecessarily waste in market spending. That is very necessary. So, appeal awareness, poor customer attraction means it low brand positioning due to low marketing implementation, and attraction level is close to 1. Loyalty is attraction here, okay? And improvement, how repositioning the marketing strategy, repositioning the communication channels. In ask and appeal, what happens? Customers are not compelled to ask questions. Brand message is unclear, which I explained to you. So should I go to the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
Driving up the productivity. 8 ways to increase the productivity in the workplace is very, very easy. Be efficient. Consider how you purchase your business. You consider how your business is currently, not purchase your business, sorry. Consider how your business is currently operating and be open to the potential changes in your work style. We will finish with this 8 and we will end here. And then we will go tomorrow to the next one, because we will finish till 8 only here just now. So efficient, be efficient. Second is delegate. Delegate responsibilities to employees and encourage them to fulfill their tasks. Trust them. Third is reduce distractions. Social media can be a big distractions, but it isn't practical to have no phone policy in the organizations. So give them breaks to your employees and tell them to see their phones in the break time. Many IT companies have jammers, so they don't allow that because it, has a lot of distractions. But not allowing the employees to use the phone will be a problem. So tell them in break time they can use their mobiles, and this will ensure that the time spent is productive by reducing the distractions. Fourth one is what? Have the right tool and equipments. If it's a manufacturing company, if it's into supply and operations, good quality modern programs and equipments, it helps to create massive difference, not only to the employees, but also for the company's image. Oh my God, this company is having good infrastructure. This company is having good equipment. This company is having, right tools. So it makes a difference. So much with the right tools, with the right equipments. If I'm having a scanner, printer, well, staying, much time, paperwork can be saved with right tools and equipments. Okay. So be efficient, delegate, reduce distractions, have the right tool and equipment. Next is improve workplace conditions. In improve workplace conditions, if the workplace is not good, your workplace should be airy, it should be well lit, it should be always clean and healthy for the employees to perform better. See to it that the ACs are there, the right temperature of ACs are maintained, clean toilet conditions should be there, healthy canteen facilities should be there. The infrastructure should be in good environment, good functional environment should be provided to the employees. So improve workplace conditions. Next is offer support and realistic goals. Set realistic goals. Offer support and set realistic goals. In that, help employees by offering achievable goals. Provide clear direction to supervisors and employees to help clarify their doubts. So give them support and help them to achieve those realistic goals. Next is practice positive reinforcement. In that, what happens? Encourage, reward, tell employees that they are doing well, give them constructive criticism,
Appreciate them.
Mention one employee's success to the other employees, so he also gets motivated, he also starts performing better. So practice positive reinforcement. And the last one is ensure employees are happy. Stressful workplace will not yield any good results. Appreciate, respect, value your employees. That will give them the job satisfaction. Agreed? So these all 8 we have completed. And then we will come to major industry best practices and archetypes. 100% n number of questions will be asked on this. MCQs will be asked. So here are 4 successful ways where audience-centric companies connect their best performing marketing practices to the people that matters most. Okay. First is, and which are these ones? Doorknob, goldfish, trumpet, funnel, and bow tie. Bow tie is all the combining of 4. त्यामुळे 4च असतात, आपण 5वं पण bow tie टाकलंय त्याच्यात. So 4 successful ways where audience-centric companies connect their best performing marketing to the people that matters most. Which are they? Leverage right data, Second is take advantage of people-based marketing. Third is embrace advanced measurement approaches. And fourth is stay up to date on new marketing technological developments. These are the four ones which we four practices which we are going to study. So leverage right data. When it comes to leverage right data, still we have 15 minutes, Mehal. It's okay with you, no?
Yes, ma'am, not a problem.
Yeah. Is it okay speed or should I go slow?
No, ma'am, it's good.
Okay. So leverage right data. Leverage right data मध्ये काय होतं? Each marketers are able to match the right data. In leverage right data, every member of marketing department requires different types of data, right? Different types of insights, different types of data at different speeds and at different levels to perform effectively, right? So for instance, a chief marketing officer looking to understand the impact of each channel on total sales by quarter is very different from a sales executive who wants to identify top selling items of the day and his target, right? A sales executive sees what target I have to accomplish today, but a marketing officer's vision is and the targets are different. He has to see the entire channels and see the entire sales of quarters, right? So when marketers are able to match the right data to correct strategic action, they can better understand the consumers while making smarter investments decisions within and across cross channels that enhance performance and reduce wasteful spend. Agreed? All of you? Next is take advantage of people. Take advantage of people-based marketing. Marketers are delivering tailor-based. Marketers are delivering tailor-based, personally relevant messages, contents, and offers at each stage of the consumer journey. So it is possible. Why? Because it is possible by the creation of persistent identifier that links a person to his or her devices and browsers. So by providing insight who customer and prospects are and how they behave, marketers can offer better, more personalized experience that drive revenue and create customer loyalty. Followed with this? So take advantage of people-based marketing. Third is what? Embrace advanced measurement approaches. Embrace advanced measurement approaches. Effective marketers leverage advanced measurement approaches that include agile measurements like multi-touch attribution that provides quick access to always on marketing campaigns. From this multi-touch attribution, marketers get a people-based view of consumer journey and accurately assign credit to all the touch points that influenced a desired business outcome, such as a lead or sales. Followed, Mehal? Followed?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
marketers
ma'am.
here can integrate. Marketers here can integrate and improve while their marketing on their marketing strategies, and at the same time media are still in the market. So media also is in the market. Marketers are improving also on their strategies. That's how they are doing multi-touch approach. That is embrace advanced measurement approaches. And what is the last one? Stay up to date on new marketing technological developments. Marketing tech developments. In this, what happens? The most effective marketers are starting to embrace holistic measurement solutions that combine audience-centric marketing performance data with multiple modeling methodologies. That combines audience-centric data. Understand? Audience-centric data with multiple modeling methodologies. By reconciling data from multiple approaches into a single audience-centric view of performance, these solutions deliver the speed, they deliver the accuracy and foresight the marketers require, marketers need to enhance the customer experience and optimize lift and return on investment across all marketing investments. This is stay up to date on new marketing technological developments. That's what we have studied today. And I think we will end here. Okay. So
Sure, ma'am.
So par, bar value, decomposing par and bar we have studied, right? And now important ones we will study next time is all this, which are the 4 archetypes. That is the doorknob, goldfish, trumpet, funnel, and the bow tie. This is all we will study in our next time with the diagram. And this is the last one, which is bar median and bar range, which I will be explaining it to you, and the chapter ends. So I think by tomorrow we will end the 3rd chapter. Okay? MCQs
ma'am.
are given to you by Ragini madam, I have told her. Mehal?
No, ma'am, not yet. I
Okay,
think
she
I'm
will
not
give
seeing
you.
that.
She will give
Sure,
you.
ma'am.
And all these notes, na, PPTs, I will tell Mohit sir to forward it to you. To all of
Right,
you.
ma'am.
In fact, all the PPTs. And do you want what I had said extra also on my
Yes,
personal
ma'am.
notes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I will send you those notes also. Okay, which I have removed whatever I am telling each of you right now in detail. I will give you that also. So everything will be given to you. Now here I have explained the diagram, right? But I have written all these points in detail, till 7 points, right? So these are all in my notes that I will give it to you. Okay? Mehal, so should we end here?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Fine. So you are comfortable with the other lectures also?
Yes, ma'am, all are good, ma'am.
All are good?
Yes, ma'am.
Hope you will get a first class now.
Sure, ma'am, 100%.
Very good, very good. And you are working, Mehal, now?
Yes, ma'am, I'm working from home, ma'am.
Okay, all the best. I am ending the session here. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.